folks, I don't know, but you all probably don't see it on a daily basis as much as I do. But addiction and mental illness right now is epidemic. And in the elementary and middle schools, the number of special ed kids, the veterans coming back, you know, it's unbelievable. You just wouldn't believe it. And if we don't do something, I don't know the answers, but if we don't do something, our workforce is going to suffer. And I'm like you all, the first thing that enters my mind is, well, why would we provide services for the surrounding counties? Folks, if it wasn't for the surrounding counties, we wouldn't have enough people to operate the plants now.
We have 7 counties here.
7 counties at JT. I have very few employees from Hamblen County. Most of our instructors come from Jefferson and Cobb. Our students do too. I think 22% of the workforce comes from surrounding counties. So, you know, I think that's to be expected. But I don't know where this is coming from, but the addiction piece is incredible. And there's nowhere to send them. There's no help. If you've got a child, if you don't have a lot of money to go to a private institution in Oxford or Nashville, it's hard to get help.
I heard the sheriff say 85 to 90% of the people in jail here are related. There's some drug-related instance for them being there.
I think he said if the drug people were not in jail, he would have like 45 inmates.
Well, I think we all know where it's coming from. I think it's all 90% of it's 10 care prescribed drugs by doctors, and the state won't do anything about it. I don't know why, but we know that. But they can stop it. Sure, they can stop it. I mean, they know 90% of the drugs are legal, what they're taking now. And,
but the children of these addicts are having learning disabilities
Sure.
and mental health problems.
and
we're seeing more and more of that every day.
They're probably taking their parents' drugs too. They take care of all the problems. I mean, it's tough, but something's got to be done on the state level as far as prescribing drugs. And I mean, you take Tennessee's prescribed what, 10 times more OxyContin than any other state around here, and Tennessee and Mississippi, I think.
And the meth is unbelievable. If you've never seen anybody on meth, it's really scary.
Oh yeah.
It comes through their skin and they're covered in sores.
And they lose their teeth, don't they?
The teeth go first. It's awful.
I was glad to see the city took the initiative to put a, I guess, ordinance in that would keep these
Pain
clinics from, they pretty much rule them out in Marshtown, the way they've written that.
We've got a real issue with those in Knoxville as well.
It's everywhere, I think.
I tell you what, why don't we take this under advisement this morning and let us count our pennies and see what we can do. We want to try to provide some help for y'all. We appreciate everybody coming this morning. You made a good presentation. We've learned a lot. Is there any other questions of these people?
Just one, where does Cherokee, used to be Cherokee Mental Health, fit in?
I'll let Houston answer that.
Yeah, that's a very common question, Max. Cherokee is considered a federally qualified health center, which means that there's few things that are different about Cherokee versus Heller Rossmanette, which means that their dollars for their facilities do come from the federal government. So that's why you don't see Cherokee out raising money for facilities. They do get funding. They're also they're focused on a primary care model. So just like if we went to our primary care doctor and said, I don't feel right, physically I'm okay, but I'm sad or I'm hearing things, then Cherokee has the ability to offer behavioral health services. But their primary emphasis is going to come from more of a primary care model, with behavioral health is kind of not incidental to that, but it's a piece of that. Whereas the McNabb Center, our bailiwick, our real specialty is working with acute individuals On the adult side, adults that have severe and persistent mental illness on a chronic basis. And on the adolescent, on the children and youth side, kids that have serious emotional disturbances and then severe addiction disorders on both sides. So those are kind of the distinguishing factors between us and Cherokee. There is a little bit of crossover there, but not as much as you might think.
But Cherokee gets TennCare money too.
They do. It's a parish work for them.
Do y'all turn anyone down? I mean, that you could,
On the adult side, we have a waiting list. We never, on the children and youth side, 2 years ago, and Mike was involved with this, we raised money called ChildNet East Tennessee. And we raised $1.7 million from all the counties where we operate. And that created a fund where we can see children regardless of their ability to pay. Whether they have TennCare or if they might have commercial insurance which won't pay for behavioral health services. But on the children and youth side, we do not turn any children away. We have the capacity to serve all comers, whether they can pay or not.
Any other questions? Again, thank you all for coming.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
all for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
So Sarah, thank you, George. Thank you, George, very much.
I just stopped on the way to work.